We have already solved the open response questions. Now here are a few more multiple choice. Question number 19. Which equation does not represent a linear relation? So clearly, if you have x squared, it does not represent linear relation, right? All others are straight lines. Question 20. What is the slope of the line represented by the equation 0 equals to 2x minus 10y plus 7? We need to rearrange this, bringing 10y to the left side. It becomes positive 2x plus 7. And dividing by 10, we get 2 over 10x plus 7 over 10. Simplify, we get 1 over 5x plus 7 over 10. So slope is 1 over 5, which is option B for us. Clear? Now let's take the next question, which is question number 21. Question number 21 here is, the endpoints of a line segment AB are, let's say this is the line segment, right? So we are given the endpoints as A, which is 3 minus 12, and B, which is 6k. What is the value of k if the slope of the line segment is minus 2? So we are given slope m between A to B equals to minus 2. But slope is, as you know, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we can write minus 2 as equal to k minus 12, so it becomes plus 12, divided by 6 minus 3. Or we get minus 2 equals to k plus 12 over 6 minus 3 is 3. And now we can solve it by cross multiplication, right? So we'll cross multiply. So we get minus 6 equals to k plus 12, and that gives you the value of k as equal to minus 6 minus 12, which is clearly minus 18. And therefore, option A is the right option. Clear? Now let's look into question number 22D. Information about 3 different relationships between C in dollars and T in hours is shown below. So these are the 3 relationships. So first one is given in the form of a table. The second one is in the form of a graph. Then we have an equation, right? C equals to 4 plus 0.5t. The question for you is, based on all this, is how many of 3 relationships between C and T have a rate of change of $4 per hour, right? So we have to see the rate of change is 4 or not, right? Okay, so let's figure out. So rate of change, let's try to calculate for each one of them. So for the first one, the rate of change is what? Let's say rate of change, which is normally called as slope, will be difference of these two, let's say 14 minus 10 divided by 2 minus 0, or it is 4 over 2, is 4 divided by 2 is 2, right? So the units, of course, this rate of change is in dollars, right? The y value, and the x value is in hours. So we get $2 per hour, right? So that is definitely not 4, right? Now let's look into rate of change given by the graph. Now in this graph, let's select 2 points, okay? So this is a good point. Let's take the other point right there. So the coordinates of these points are, here the coordinates is 2, 6, right? 2 and 6. Here the coordinates are 0 and 4. So let's find rate of change m, which is difference of y values, 6 minus 4 divided by 2 minus 0. 6 minus 4 is 2, divided by 2 is basically 1, right? This is also not 4. Perfect. Now the last is the equation itself, which is C equals to 0.5. Here the slope is 0.5, or you can say half. It is also not $4, and therefore our option will be option A. That is, none of them has a slope of $4 per hour. Is that clear? Perfect. Let's move on and take the next question now. Question number 23. A line passes through the point 6,4 and has slope of negative half. That means it is going downwards, right? That is negative half. Which of the following graph represents this line? Well, this is definitely not the line, and nor is this one. We have to check between C and D, right? So we need to check between C and D. So both have going downwards, and let's check the point 6,4. So this point at 6, the value is not 4. It is here in this case 6,5, and it is not 4. And in the second graph which we have, which is D, at 6, what is the value of y? So, well, at 6, we do have 4. So this is the point 6,4, and it's going downwards. So therefore, that becomes our option. Is that clear to you, right? We need not even calculate for the slope, as this is the only line which satisfies the point at least. Perfect. Next question here, question number 24. The maximum number of tickets that can be sold for the school play is 350. The total profit earned, P, can be determined using the equation P equals to 4.50n minus 1080, where n is the total number of tickets sold. Which of the following statements is true? First, the maximum profit is 1020. Well, that is not the case, right? The maximum profit cannot be 1020. This is a negative value, by the way. So for finding the profit, what we can do is we can just plug in 350 and calculate, correct? So let's find the profit when n equals to 350. In that case, what is P equals to? P will be 4.5 times 350 minus 1080. Let's use calculator. So we have 4.5 times 350, and from here we'll take away 1080. That gives you 495, right? So we get this value as 495. Definitely, we cannot get 1080. Second is, maximum profit is 1575. Well, this is a straight line. Do you understand? So profit is increasing by the sales, and that is the maximum profit. So both the statements are wrong. C, total profit is 0 when 240 tickets are sold. So let's check the value for n equals to 240, correct? In that case, P will be 4.5 times 240 minus 1080. Let's see how much do we get now. So we have 4.5 times 240 minus 1080 equals to what? We do get 0. So that is correct. So we do get 0 here. So this C is the right option. Perfect. So that is how we could actually solve it. Now let's look into question number 25. Two gyms offer fitness classes. The graph below shows the total cost for the first gym, right? For 4 classes, both gyms have the same total cost. So we are saying that 4 classes means they have the same cost. Okay, so the cost is 120 for 4 classes. Now, which of the following could represent the total cost for the second gym? Okay. So we have 4 options here. Since we know that this point should be there on the equation, right? So first one is C equals to 40 plus 60 plus 4n. So if I write n as 4, this is n as 4, what do I get? I get 60 plus 4 times 4, which is 16, right? 60 plus 16, which is definitely not 120, right? Which is 76. So this is wrong. In the second case, it is 40 plus 15 times 4. So which is 40 plus 15 times 4 is 60. that gives you 100. But we are looking for a value of 120, so that is not correct either. Now, we have the total cost is made up of a membership fee of 60 and $10 per class. Well, this is 60 indeed, so that could be right. And for $10 per class, let's find the rate of change. So if you consider this triangle, then this height here is 120 minus 60 divided by 4, right? Which is 60 divided by 4. And that gives you 4 times 1 is 4 and 20 means 15. So it is 15, not 40, not 10, right? So that is also not correct. The last option here is the total cost is made up of a membership fee of 40 and $20 per class. In this particular case, membership fee of $60 and $10 per class. In that case, we could have an equation which is C equals to 60 plus 10n, right? So if n is 4, then what do we get? We get 60 plus 40, which is 100. So that doesn't work. In the last case, let's calculate once again. Total cost is made up of membership fee of $40, okay, 40, plus 20 per class. So 20 times 4. And that gives you 40 plus 80, and that is equal to 120. So that works. So D is the right option. Correct? So we get D as the right option. So here is question number 26. The table below lists the widths of 4 rectangles, each with an area of 72 centimeters squared. So widths of rectangle 1, 2, 3, 4 are 6, 8, 10, and 18. The question is, which rectangle has smallest perimeter? Well, squarish rectangle will have smallest area, smallest perimeter, right? So in this case, if you check the values, what we find here is squarish means width and length are close by, right? So close length and width. So if you see, area is 72. So for the first rectangle, it will be 6 times 12, right? 6 times 12 will give us 72, correct? In the second case, 8 times 9 is going to give us 72. In the third case, 7.2 times 10 will give us 72. And 18 is like 6 times 3, right? So times 4 will give us 72, correct? Now in this particular case, you clearly see that rectangle 2 is squarish, kind of. Length and width are nearly same, not as far apart as in the other cases, and therefore that is going to be our answer. What you could do is, you could verify your result. How will you verify? Just add 8 and 9 and multiply by 2 to find the perimeter. You will see that this perimeter is smallest. So in this case, the perimeter is going to be 8 plus 9 times 2, right? So which is 17 times 2, 34. If you take perimeter of any other, it will be much greater. Perfect. So that is very important to understand. So I hope this concept is clear, right? It's a very important concept. Now let's look into question number 27, which is salt is sold in packages in the shape of a rectangular based prism that is not a cube. A new package in the shape of a cube is designed to contain the same volume, right? So it's designed to contain the same volume. Which of the following is true about the new package? So the 4 options now are: it holds less salt, it holds more salt. Well, the volume is same, so both of them are wrong. C, it requires less material. That is correct. from the same concept as we did in previous question, right? So if you make it squarish, in this case it is a cube, so it will have minimum material. That is important, and that's why most of the things you see are in the shape of a cube, where material is of concern. Now let's look into the next question, which is 28. According to the Pythagorean theorem, what is the length of the third side of the triangle? So we need to find x. Well, this is a smaller side, so x will be equal to 15, I should write 17 square first, right? So 17 square minus 15 square root, correct? So that is how you're going to find the answer. So we have 17 square minus 15 square, and we get 64, and square root of 64 will be 8, right? So we get 8 as our answer. Option D is the correct option, right? So this is 64. Question number 29. The figure pictured below is made up of a cone on the top of a cylinder. The cylinder has a volume of 96 cubic centimeters. So this volume is 96 centimeter cube. What is the volume of the whole figure? Well, that should be 1/3 of 96, correct? So we can add them up and get the whole volume, correct? So let's add them up. So we'll add them to get, since the volume of a cone is 1/3 that of the cylinder. So it's important to note here, volume of cone with same radius and height is 1/3 of that of cylinder. Is that clear to you? Right? So that is what it is. So 1/3 will be what? So 1/3 will be 32. So it will be 96 plus 32 as our answer. 6 and 2 is 8. 3 and 9 is 12. So 128 centimeter cube is going to be the answer, right? So we'll mark 128 as the correct answer. Is that clear to you? So I'd like you to understand this concept. So volume of a cone of same dimensions in a way, radius and height, is 1/3 that of the volume of a cylinder, and that should help you to get the right answer, right? So out of these options, you don't really have to do much calculations, right? You get your answer, just as we did. Perfect. So let's move on, and these are the last two questions for us. Question number 30. It says, consider the diagram below. So these two sides are given to us as parallel. What is the value of x? Okay, so since these two sides are parallel, then 61 is equal to which side? Think like this. So that's a transverse. 61 is this. So this is 61. So x has to be equal to 180 degrees minus 61. That's it, right? So we get 9, and from here we get 1. And so we get 119 as our right answer. So the answer here is 119 degrees. The last question here is, the following figure is a 15-sided regular polygon. What is the value of x? This exterior angle we want to figure out, right? What is the value of x as shown in the figure? Well, since there are 15 sides, we can find this angle. Let's find this angle. Well, total sum of interior angles is how much? Is 180 degrees times n minus 2, right? In this case, 15 sides. So that means 180 degrees minus, 15 minus 2, which is 13, gives us, let's calculate, 180 times 13, right? So that gives us equal to 2340 degrees. Now, since there are, let's call this as y, right? So the value of y will be equal to 2340 divided by 15. So we'll divide this by 15 and that gives us 156. So this y is 156. So that is a straight line. So x is 180 minus 156 in degrees, correct? So we'll do 180 minus 156 to get our answer, which is equal to 24 degrees, correct? So option A in this case is the right option, which is 24 degrees. So I hope you understand the calculations. So with that, we complete our test paper. I hope you find it interesting and useful. Feel free to write a comment, share your views, and if you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. Thanks for watching and all the best.